Hi there. Thank you for joining us for the AVW Live Coffee Chat with Kerrie Merrifield. In this quick conversation, we're going to speak with Kerrie about the impact of COVID-19 to business interruptions and lost profits. Kerrie is a very active member of the NACVA. She runs a firm called Axiom Forensics. She holds the CPA license as well as the ABV, Accredited in Business Valuation, the CFF, Certified in Financial Forensics, but also NACVA's Master Analyst in Financial Forensics, MAFF certification. She's an instructor with several of our financial litigation training programs, and for the last 2 years has served as the chair of the board for NACVA's Litigation Forensics Board. So thank you, Kerrie. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
How you doing? Thanks for joining us.
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Also, thank you for your support to the organization and the profession by chairing this important board and being so involved with these trainings. That's wonderful of you to be able to share your knowledge as you're going to do about business interruptions and lost profits.
Great, well, thank you. Yeah, NACVA is an amazing association, and I really take pleasure and I feel honored to be able to participate in any kind of events and committees. So thank you, Brian.
You're very welcome. So you're going to be leading a webinar with Robert Carter, who could not join us today, on April 28th. Make sure I get that date right. On April 28th, a free 2-hour webinar on the COVID concerns or issues with business interruptions and lost profits. What makes the COVID pandemic unique to these kinds of claims?
The thing that makes the COVID pandemic unique to these claims is that businesses are being shut down by choice or not by choice, and it's not a actual physical structural damage. So it's something that they do suffer lost profits and there is damage. And there have been cases where it's bacterial damage. It's actually structural damage, but not in the sense. So there are, and policies are very ambiguous about it. It's not clear. So there's going to be a lot of claims being made because businesses are shut down and they have business interruption lost profit coverage, but a lot of the insurance companies are not going to want to cover it. It's like New York State did a kind of a preemptive issue saying that the COVID-19 is not covered under their policies, and kind of as a preemptive thing before people started filing their claims. So it's going to be kind of a unique situation where so many businesses are going to be filing without having actual structural damage.
So most claims typically are centered around some structural damage to their real estate or properties or holdings or so forth, whereas with this pandemic, there's not that issue.
Correct, yeah. Usually there's a claim when there's a fire or a flood or earthquake or some kind of catastrophic event that happens to the physical property itself.
So from the analyst perspective, who are helping their clients through this unique type of business interruption and lost profits claim, what would you advise or consider important for analysts to know so that they can help their clients with this unique situation with these claims?
First thing I would say is, unfortunately, many of the businesses don't have the choice of shutting down. It's an order by the state to shut down. But still, the business owners have to keep in mind that their first priority is to mitigate their damages. So to take advantage of anything they can do to mitigate their damages. For example, restaurants are doing takeout and delivery. So it's continuing as a partial shutdown. Other businesses are actually taking on other production of items. For example, Bacardi rum is now actually making hand sanitizer. So something like that, they're finding another source of revenue. They're finding some other way to use their facilities and their products to keep a revenue stream coming in. Also to take advantage and look into any of the loan assistance programs, the Paycheck Protection Program, or any kind of grants and things that are being offered. Anything that can help mitigate their damages would be the first thing that I would tell business owners to do to be able to have a successful business interruption loss claim.
It is interesting that a lot of businesses are sort of reinventing themselves to their core business model, finding opportunities to still remain busy and generating revenue from areas where they probably never thought they would initially.
Correct. I even heard, I forgot which name brand designer it was, but some very high-end designer, clothing designer, are actually making masks now. So, I mean, it's really an opportunity for a lot of companies to have an additional revenue stream when you can't continue your normal course of business. Mm-hmm. So mitigation and being creative is something that is really important for business owners to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm. So what are the key takeaways that people will get from the free webinar on April 28th?
There's several. First, this webinar, just so that everyone knows, if you haven't taken, we have a full week, 10-hour webinar series that explains the basics of business interruption loss profits calculations. You know, how the engagement works, what's involved, the calculations, and how to do that. This is going to be based on the premise that somebody knows what the basics of doing this type of analysis and engagement is. This is going to be focused directly and solely on how the COVID-19 virus impacts this type of engagement. So we're going to be focusing on things such as economic climate, you know, how there's going to be unique things that the COVID-19 brings to this type of engagement. So I would say the takeaways are going to be mitigation. What did the business do to mitigate? The insurance policy, that's going to be a very important one to know how to understand. Case law precedent, that's going to be an important thing because I believe that a lot of these cases are going to end up in litigation because insurance companies are going to have a big pushback on how they're going to be flooded with claims. Mm-hmm. So making sure that the insurance policy is well understood, and also, you know, about the future, about how to plan for the future going ahead, because this is something that is going to have an economic impact for a long time and it's going to have long-standing implications for business owners going forward.
So this is an extension, another module to the existing 5-part series that we have available on demand through NACVA. Kerrie and Robert Carter, who helped to build this series with her and couldn't join us today, are adding this specific module related to business interruptions and lost profits to that program. You, if you're viewing and are interested in attending the free webinar with Kerrie and Robert on April 28th, you can go to nacva.com/COVID-19. On that page, you will see several other topics related to our public service campaign, Staying in Business, that's designed to help analysts and business owners and appraisers deal with these valuation and appraisal issues for their clients during this COVID-19 pandemic. On that page, nacva.com/COVID-19, you can scroll to locate the webinar that Kerrie is going to be on April 28th with Robert to register for free to attend that, including CPE and any of the other topics on that page that you're interested in. We encourage you to register for them and attend them as well. So Kerrie, in closing, how are you navigating this crisis? You, your family, your business, how are things going for you personally?
Well, as far as me and the family, knock on wood, we've been staying pretty sequestered. So we're minimizing well, once a week for the groceries. Here in Irvine, they've just implemented, as of I think Monday, that you must wear a mask if you're out in public. Wow. So that way we're doing well. I'm used to working from home, so that's good. So there was no change there for me. But the biggest impact for me is, I guess, case-wise, the courts are closed. nobody can file any legal filings, any legal pleadings. So it's impacted my business greatly because there's no new cases. Nobody's, filing for divorce or filing a lawsuit. So I've been taking this time to really focus more on educational things.
Right.
This webinar and, networking more, getting in touch with people more. So, there's a lot that can be done during these times, even if your business is partially impacted like mine. But, I think afterwards, things are really going to be quite intense and very busy for people that are in my industry with all these claims coming through. So far, we're just, weathering it, taking the time to actually, we cook a lot more at home. We play, we actually work out, different things. We've imitated shows like Chop. We'll have a cooking challenge. So,
oh, cool.
It is really cool. It's fun. So taking this time to really do more family things, just sit back and like really catch my breath from the rush of every day and meetings and go. So it's actually kind of been a blessing in disguise. So, just really appreciating the slowdown a little bit.
Well, we've got to find the silver lining since we don't really have a choice. So we better look for one, right? Well, Kerrie, thank you so much for taking this time with us to share some insights to the April 28th webinar you'll be hosting with Robert Carter on the COVID-19 impact to business interruptions and lost profits. For those of you who are seeing this quick coffee chat with Kerrie, you can go to nacva.com/COVID-19 to find the link to register for the April 28th webinar and any of the other amazing resources that we're providing to analysts, business owners, to help them navigate through this COVID-19 pandemic as it impacts business. We hope to see you on the 28th or at another point in time through this series. Kerrie, thanks again. And also Robert, who was not able to join us, we really appreciate his support to you and to the profession, the organization, for pulling together these resources under such quick turnaround time. So we really thank you for that.
My pleasure. And I look forward to seeing everybody next week. And if there's any questions anybody wants to prepare, we'll be taking questions during the webinar. So please feel free to prepare your questions and we will answer any questions anybody has.
All right. Thanks again. We'll see you soon.
Okay, great. Thanks, Brian. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.